Greetings, ma'am. Our group is going to represent about the drama from the third unit, Atsumori by Zeami Motokiyo. First, let's look into the background of the drama. The no play Atsumori is based on the tale of the Heike, which recounts the struggle for power between the Taira family and the Minamoto family at the end of 12th century. The Minamoto clan won the battle while the Taira was crushed to the ground. Stories of the glory and downfall of the Taira and the unparalleled heroism accorded during the war were eventually recited by ballad singers. One such story is that of Atsumori of the Taira clan and his death in the hands of Kumagai from the house of Minamoto. The Taira had been attacked in their place of naval retreat at Sumabe. Atsumori, the nephew of the chief, was killed by Kumagai, who found in one of the Atsumori's belongings a bamboo flute. When Kumagai brought the flute to the commander, all who saw it was moved to tears, for the one who was beheaded was just a boy of 16. From that time on, Kumagai vowed to lead a religious life.
Author's biography, Zeami, from 1363 to 1443. Not much was written about Zeami's life except that he was the son of Kannami. From 1333 to 1384, is co-perfecter of the heart of Now. In their hands, the Now play took its final form of having a principal character, Shide, and a secondary character, Waki, and other accompanying personages. Zimi's close association with the court of Shaguns, which was deeply influenced by the Zen masters, contributed to the great influence Zen Buddhism as over the Now plays.
Summary of Atsumori. In the first scene, Priest Rensai is on his way to Ichinotani to pray for the salvation of the soul of Atsumori, whom he killed sometime in the past during the war between the Taira and Minamoto clans. Downtrodden with grief, Rensai goes on to his journey. On his way, he hears the sound of a flute giving sweet music in the air. Rensai stops in his tracks and waits for the flute player to pass. He then sees it is a young reaper accompanied by his comrades. The young reaper is left alone by his friends. This leaves Rensai wondering. The priest inquires about the young reaper's identity. To his great surprise, the young man introduces himself as one of the family of Lord Atsumori. Rensai kneels down and utters a prayer to Amida Buddha. In the second scene, Rensai starts calling upon Amida's name to pray for the salvation of Atsumori. Having heard this, Atsumori introduces himself as the real Atsumori, or rather the soul of Atsumori. Rensai could not believe what is happening until the young reaper has proven himself to be the soul of Atsumori. Most part of the scene is spent in verbal battle between Atsumori and Rensai. Atsumori relates the story before and about his death, while Rensai on his part tells how he has prayed and asked for the forgiveness of having shed the blood of Atsumori. The play ends in Atsumori's forgiveness of Rensai and how vengeance is overthrown by salvation.
Atsumori, who first appears as a young reaper, is a shite in the play. He has come to life to avenge for his death in the hands of Kumagai of the Minamoto clan. Priest Rensai, formerly the warrior, Kumagai has left his home and called himself Priest Rensai. This he has done for the grief over the death of Atsumori in his hand is so great he could only find peace in his prayer for the salvation of Atsumori's soul. He is the Waki in the play.
Plot analysis. Exposition. Priest Rensai introduces himself as Komogai no Nausen of Musashi. He also relates his grief over the death of Atsumori in his hands during the China Minamoto Wars and how he is atoning for that sin. Initial incident. On his way to Ikino Tani to pray for the soul of Atsumori, Rensai heard a group of reapers playing a flute led by a younger man. Crisis. The young reaper introduces himself as someone from the family of Lord Atsumori. Having heard this revelation, Rensai kneels down and prays to Amida Buddha.
Dimensions of no drama in Atsumori. Atsumori belongs to Kichiku monogroup of the no category, which presents the site as a ghost spirit. It has two scenes, the first of which is when Priest Renzi meets the reappears and the young man who was playing the flute. The second scene reveals that the young reapper is in fact the soul of Atsumori. The side role is that of Atsumori, while the Beki role is portrayed by Priest Frenzy. Although the dialogues are simple, they are very poetic. Life is a lying dream, he only wakes. Who casts the world aside? Yohanan 220. The teaching of Zen Buddhism is also highly reflected in Atsumori. Being a priest, Renzei sings prayers to Hamida Buddha. If I attain to Buddhahood in the whole world and its 10 spheres of all that dwell, none shall call on my name and be rejected or cast aside. Yonanan, triple two.
So, in the past, the Buddhism of No has been defined in two ways, as Emedism and as Zen. Arthur Waley distinguished the Buddhism of educated people and artists from that of the common people when he wrote, "It was in a style tinged with Zen that Zeami wrote of his own art." But the religion of the No place is predominantly Emedist, it is the common, average Buddhism of the medieval Japan. This was from Tier 9. And the Buddhism of No in Atsumori is composed of devotion to Amida. By the Kamakura period, Amida had been widely adored for centuries in Japan, both at court and among the common people. Calling Amida's name was a practice anyone might do during that time, and there were communities of Amida devotees associated with many great temples. Most of their members were of modest ranks in the religious life, and one may imagine some of the travelers of No as being from someone among them, as in this case of Renzai. And thus, this is all about the play Atsumori, which was written by Zeami Motokiyo.